Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this evening's stream. I've had a slight change with the setup here. I've had to kind of move microphones, move computers and all sorts around. So if anything does sound off or look strange or any visual audio glitches throughout the stream, then do let me know and I'll do my best to fix those on the fly. But tonight we're going to continue with the Guess Who game that I started a couple of weeks ago. Just had a little bit of a play around with it now, just to remind myself where I was up to. I've got a little bit of a hit list of things I'm going to address, but it's going to be a pretty chill evening, just doing a bit of game dev in Crayta. So if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out in the editor. If you're watching this in the archive, then do make sure you comment in the kind of area down below with any questions you might have about Crayta, any questions about the game. And as always, if you do head over to Discord, that'd be a great place to catch up with the community. If you're not already over there, it's discord.gg/Crayta. Hey Vilvis, how's it going? So yeah, we're going to jump straight in, and basically, yeah, so where we got up to last time is I'd made a small desert island. I've spent a little bit of time just adding a few more things, little mermaid rock over here, around a bit of seaweed dripping off her arm. Then just a little bit more dressing up the area a bit, so I don't have to kind of watch me do all that again on stream. So I'm going to try and get through a few logic bits tonight. I've got a few bits like, kind of wrapping up the game loop, stopping people from escaping, the usual kind of cleaning up stuff, but I feel like it's almost getting there. I've got my Stadia player in here as well, so I'm going to give that. I have a quick preview. Wait, I'm going to show you where I'm up to. So I've got player in here. Okay, so the game player, so what you can't see basically is the hunter. So I'm a player, and I'm basically, my objective as a player is to attempt to find all the cannons on the island and interact with them to win. As the hunter, this player over here. So this player that we can see here is the hunter. So they're stuck in first person, and they've basically got to try and suss out who the actual players are amongst all these random like NPCs that are doing really bizarre kind of patterns of action. They're kind of walking around, they're crouching, they're jumping randomly, they're emoting, they're clipping into walls. The crowd of NPCs doing these strange things actually kind of provides a nice chance for players to sort of blend in by doing the same sort of stuff while they're searching for the objective. So it's kind of like prop hunt, but you are a player amongst NPCs, and what you're looking to do, without the time running out, what you're looking to do is get over to the find the cannons that will be around. I need to make some sort of mechanic that kind of randomizes their locations if I haven't already. And yeah, ultimately you want to be going out to the cannons. So that's the thing that will differentiate you, because NPCs won't do those things. The NPCs will sort of never interact with them. So as a player, if I do that, that's going to kind of make it clear to the hunter that a player was just near that location, and then you've got to try and get away. So yeah, there are games like this. I've seen on other sort of platforms. It's a kind of an interesting game that I think we can do in quite interesting ways here on Crayta. So yeah, pretty fun idea, and I'm hoping by the end of this stream, I know I said this last time, but I'm thinking by the end of the stream today, I'll have it published so we can all give it a go. And hopefully it could be a pretty good laugh. It's just watching the NPCs like do the strange things, like emote randomly, walking into hedges, standing against rocks and emoting. So one thing with the emoting actually that I thought was quite fun is the players can emote, but it's going to be a risk, right? Because when a player does an emote, their drone appears, and that doesn't happen for an NPC. But when a player emotes, it's kind of, if a hunter sees someone doing an emote, there's a good chance that they're going to assume it's an NPC. It could have been a player if the player was sneaky enough to quickly get off, like say, like a trophy. Oh, I do it here. So quickly get like a trophy emote out, and the drone disappears. Okay, then you sort of blending in. So there's a little bit of a risk factor with doing that. There's also the chance that if you're quick enough, you could break line of sight and change costume. If the hunter thinks they've seen a Bones character as a player, you could almost break line of sight, get behind here, quick change to something else, and walk out the other side, and then you're going to blend in again. So there's a lot of really interesting ways that I think, good old slide, a lot of really interesting ways that I think the players can blend in with the NPCs while trying to do the objective. So yeah, I think that's the basic concept. I think it should be good fun. If you have any ideas, then do let me know. Once I've got this first version working, I've got a bit of an idea for perhaps having like some kind of power up ability. I know in the other versions of Guess Who, if the players can bump into the hunter, if you can physically touch the hunter and basically and get away with it, you'll gain a power up, a random power up. Maybe maybe the hunter could get some power ups to, like, I don't know, like instantly freeze all the NPCs, so like all the players have to then learn to stop at the same time. All that, so there's a lot of interesting stuff like that. So okay, so I thought the drone was only visible to yourself. Now you've said that, it's a good point. I'm pretty sure it's visible to other people. I feel like I've seen other people's drones, because that's kind of the whole point, right? I feel like your drone should be there for other people to see. I think you do see other people's drones. I mean, we can test it quickly. So if I get yeah, let's just go to preview. Let's test that theory. So if I get my Stadia player to emote. Oh yeah. Hey, look, you learn something new about the game you work on all the time, every day. So some of the things will do drone. Okay, so emotes don't. It's things like emoticons that do. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Okay, but the NPCs won't do emoticons, so. Okay, so in a way, it still works out. It just means that you can do emotes kind of as a player, and get away with it and blend in even easier. So yeah, lots of fun ways that you can play this game, hopefully. So what have we got first? Let's have a look at probably let's get the edge of the world sorted. How could we do this? I could probably just have a trigger. I think it's really shallow. That was part of the thing. You step in the water and you fell straight through. So let's. What I might do, I'm wondering if a quick easy thing is to just, have a trigger that if you enter the water, it kills you. Because, there's no reason to go in the water. And to be honest, the NPCs aren't going to go in the water, so it's only going to give you away anyway. I could do, let's try this. Trigger around the island, because it's still fairly square. Make it a bit bigger, so it's got a little bit more of an offset. So 650. Might remove this. I feel like that's just going to tempt. I might bring it back inside the box. Triggers are a little bit of a pain, aren't they, to work with sometimes? Where is the middle of that trigger gone? Okay, so there's our trigger. So basically, if you exit this trigger, it's going to kill you. I think should be fine. Right, so just a little bit of code on this. Death trigger script on trigger exit. Oh, actually. So I'm not going to have the health script. Do I have the health script? Let's see. Oh, no, I must have the health script on the player. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because obviously the hunter needs to shoot them, so. That's the function I'm going to call, so pop that up here. So I want to call center scripts. I'm going to call kill. It's going to be from this entity. Self message or the message you killed message. I think we just probably want these first two messages. So this is going to be the message that would appear in the notifications. I don't think it relies on that one. Let's see what this actually does. Oh, so the you killed probably goes specifically to the person that did the kill. So I don't think that's going to matter because we weren't killed by a player. So, okay, so let's go back and add our message. Other than you stepped off the beach. Name, I think it is. If we pass name and curly braces there. Yeah, okay, so the you message would replace that name there. Cool. Okay, so once I think we're good to test that. So once we step out, it should send a message to the health script killers. Please. Okay, now I'm dead. I did die, but I think I got stuck in a swim animation. Okay, there's a few issues there. I didn't tick the players only box for a start. I wonder if so I want to kill the player, but I kind of want to despawn them straight away as well. If that still holds up. So I kind of want them to, be killed by the X in the beach and then get vaporized straight away for that instant feedback. Okay, yeah, that's better. And then it would take me to another player if I had it, or it would end the round. So actually, what I'll do now to make that a bit easier is if I reduce this to like 3 seconds. So it should end the game within 3 seconds of there only being one player left. That's good. Okay, cool. So outer map limiting done. Next thing, so the NPCs didn't seem to have any health. So they were just, you could shoot them and it would report damage, but I think you could just keep shooting them. So let's have a look at our NPC here. And I guess we could build in some health to this. Yeah, let's build in some health here. So one thing you can do with NPCs is use a lot of the stock assets. So the stock health stuff does, with a few tweaks, tend to work. But it's also easy enough, hopefully I can demonstrate here, to add kind of concepts like health to an NPC. So let's start with defining a max health. Cannot type today. So the default for this, let's say, is 1,000. Yeah, okay. So we start with 1,000 health. So when we initialize this NPC, let's go here. So we'll set up a variable for their health, and that will start off obviously as default set to what their max health should be. So they'll get 1,000 health. We do have an on damage already. So what we're actually doing here is working out if the thing that hurt this NPC was the hunt, then we do damage. And that does work nicely. But what we can also do is work out if this NPC should be killed. So we'll do the damage. So self dot health is equals we'll go a step at a time here. So our health minus our damage. So we're going to take the damage away from health. But what we can also do here is make sure we don't drop below 0. So we can say either that or 0. So return me the maximum, kind of the higher number between 0 or my health minus damage. So if I've got 100 health and it does 500, then it's going to be minus 400. So instead of going to minus 400 health, it'll actually cap it at 0. And you can do the same thing with a math.min to kind of cap a lower number. So normally that's good for like percentages to make sure that you go over 100% and stuff like that. So self.health is equal to that. Now we can check if self.health is equal to 0, because we know it can't be less than 0. So if it's equal to 0, we want to kill this NPC. So self get entity set alive as false. Okay, so we're going to set them alive. False would probably we're just doing this loop all the time. I wonder if what we should do here is while true wait for a random time, but then actually only do anything if self entity is alive. So if this NPC is technically alive, then we're gonna do something. Otherwise, we're just gonna kind of skip to the next one. So while they're dead, it means that we're not going to try and do anything. Move to node. Yeah, and I think that should handle that. At the start of a new round, excuse me, we're going to want to reset. We're going to make sure our NPCs can reset properly. So what do we want to do on reset? Well, we're going to reset our health back to the max. I'm going to reset back to the max, and we're also going to make sure they are alive. Okay, let's see if any of that works. Oh, just another thing I would like to add. There's a really good stamina package that we had that I'd quite like to see about adding that to the players. So the players can basically kind of be limited in how much they can sprint around the island. But let's see if I can witness. Okay, so I've got my hunter here. Let's see if I can witness any NPC shooting. Miss. Okay, so that NPC is not trying to move anymore, but that's good. All the other NPCs are just going to start walking around them, okay, or running over them. Okay, so if I shoot another NPC... Okay, so I just took 250 damage, you can see. If I shoot the player... Okay, insta-kill the player, and the hunter wins. Cool. So we want the hunter to be able to kind of quickly kill players if they spot them. But obviously, they're going to take a lot of damage. So I didn't call the reset. That's why that NPC was still dead. So on lobby start, let's say we want to call every instance of NPC. Let's call reset. Okay, let's see if we can make sure they come back alive. I love the way they all just fall out the sky at the start and like just come rolling in. It's pretty funny. Okay, you missed that, but I just shot this NPC. So we've got a hazmat on the floor. Okay, cool. So that's good. Let's see if the hazmat now stands up. Hey, he's back. Revived where he was standing. And should hopefully start doing stuff again. There he is. Cool. Got a feeling this is going to be, if this all comes together, I think this will be a really fun game. Cool. So what I want to do next is I want to come up with an interesting way of deciding who the hunter should be. I feel like just having it randomly picked is quite obvious. I'm wondering if there's something we can do that the round could start. And then it's almost like I feel like I want players to have to choose if they want to be the hunter. Like in the lobby, if enough people stand in a certain area, they're the people that potentially become the hunter. So the way we could do it is we reset everyone's team at lobby start, and then on lobby end, if one person's in the hunter zone, they get picked to be the hunter. I might try and have a go at that actually, because I think that'd be an interesting way of doing it. Cool. Okay, so let's have a look at doing that. Wonder if it's worth having a separate little. I might do a small. Do a small like lobby island. Yeah, let's do a small lobby island on the side, so you can stand on that and watch the NPCs all doing their thing, and then everyone gets taken over. That's probably a good way to handle that. Okay, so we need some start with. I guess we need some spawn points, some start points that are designated as lobbies. Okay, so that's our lobby area. So on lobby start, or maybe because not everybody's in the lobby starts. No, okay, let's try this. So on lobby start, every instance of user team. We're on a set team. Okay. Open the team script. So I'll put everyone on team 0 on a reset. Then on lobby end, we want to take everybody who's within a sort of hunter trigger. So let's build that. As you might have guessed, again, I'm just sort of making this up as I go. So we'll have to see how this goes. Hunter selection trigger. If nobody's in the trigger, then we'll just pick someone at random. Okay, let's just make that a bit obvious with a bit of damp sand. That's my box, so I'd probably make it taller actually. Okay, so if I'm in that box, that's my hunter trigger. So then probably let's do it in the game script. Select a hunter. So probably want to have the trigger as a property. Hey God Modus, how's it going? Okay, so I've got my trigger. So what I can do is basically see anybody who's in that trigger. Or I'm going to get everybody, check if they're in the trigger, and then select from them. Hunter users, and we can say all users is get world get users. So get everybody for every user in that table. Get the player, and if self.properties hunter selector trigger is overlapping that player, then table insert into the hunter users table. So add this user to the table if they're there. So now we can check if the length of hunter users is equal to 0. Then actually let's just put all of the users in that table. So all the users table becomes the hunters table. At this point, we can basically say, right now, let's pick one of these at random. So random user is equal to hunter users dot random between 1 and the length of hunter users. Random user is now going to be given a team. So this will be enter scripts set team. And we want the team to be team 2. I believe team 2 is my hunter. So on lobby end, in the game script, we're going to choose Selector Hunter. Okay, I'm going to add some prints in there so I can try and get a little bit out of that. So no volunteers, so select all. And we'll do a print here for wants to be a hunter. So this player wants to be a hunter. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if I broke anything. That's good. So we're both... Okay, so we both spawned in there. Ah, okay, so what happened then? So it did pick a hunter, but it did... Oh, okay, because I've made them team 0. Maybe I should make them all team 1 instead. Okay, yeah, team 1, because at least then I'm not going to get stuck with nothing. So set them to team 1. So everybody's a hider by default. Hunter will get chosen in the logic. So let's stand in a longer lobby. Okay, so it randomly picked my other player to be in. Let's see. No volunteers, so selecting from all. Okay, so that seemed to work. Okay, so let's end the round. Ah, okay, my hunter ended up with no gun, so why was that? When am I giving the hunter their weapon? Okay, so am I giving the hunter their weapon? Too late? So I think I had some custom spawn logic, didn't I? Where I was saying if they're on team 2. Make them the hunter. Because yeah, if they're team 2, okay. But they're a hunter template. What I've just done seems to have broken this. It feels like a race condition. I guess I'm kind of taking them out of whack. So maybe I don't need to do this. Instead, I wonder if, yeah, if I just in here, I can just give that user the weapon they need. Added this whole team allow thing. Okay, let's see if this works. So rather than relying on the defaults, delete that. Instead of that, while I'm in here, I know who my hunter's going to be now. So random user, send to scripts, add to inventory. Hunter weapon 1. True, so we're going to give them the hunter weapon, which I need to make sure I assign. Yeah. Okay, and then I guess on round end, I want to make sure I clear everyone's inventory again. So when I do the reset of teams, I also want to make sure I reset everyone's inventory back to default. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that's good. So it's made me the hunter with my other character because I ran that character into the box. I keep picking up my controller thinking it's going to move this screen, but it moves that one. But I've got the gun now, that's good, and I didn't get the gun otherwise. And let's just check I lose the gun. And then next round what I'll do is I'll run in with the bones character. Yeah, cool. Okay. Oh, that's worked out quite nice. Yeah, and it's good because I get the red crosshair on all of these. So there really is no way for me to tell that that is the person other than, I guess, their outfit. I wonder if I need some logic to randomize outfits at the start of every round. If I can I do that? No, I don't think I can do that, can I? Oh, there is another bones. Okay, cool. So we're getting there. Let's just double check again if neither of us go and stand in the box. It would just randomly pick me. Cool. Okay, nice. So I think that's the hunter selection stuff sorted. Okay, I guess I could decorate up the lobby a little bit while I think about the next bit. So the next bit I want to do is adding the logic around the cannons, giving the sort of hiders an objective. Worst case, I could perhaps just remove that stuff for now and make it so it's more about just blending in for as long as possible. Let's make this more obvious. It's going to be a hunter thing. I guess I could add a sign. Classic square desert island. Probably just do an invisible wall as well around the edge. Move that. Well, let me know in chat if there's something you're working on. I'd love to see more kind of pirate themed stuff. We've seen a few pretty cool ones coming out recently, actually. But yeah, it'd be nice to see what more people are working on in terms of pirate themed content. Doesn't necessarily have to be a big ship battle game. It could just be a pirate themed shooter. Could be anything like that, really. Okay, so let's define this area somehow. We've got the I'm not sure what it's called. There is that new mesh, sorry, voxel material, which is really cool that you can sort of see through. Can't remember what that's called now. Now here we go. Rabbit. Yeah, this one's really cool because you get that sort of see-through effect. What did I do? Is that walnut? Let's paint on some barnacles as well. Look a bit more shippy. I haven't really explored the new voxels much, but there's some really cool ones in here. Hardwood. Lots of different cool types of wood. I really like this sort of see-through trellis stuff. I guess we want to make a sign. How do we make a sign? With mesh scaling, there's going to be some pretty cool options here. Could make it more like a brick, couldn't I? I love mesh scaling. Not really sure what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. Part of the joy of it. Make this a sort of like caged area. Add some pirate stuff to this. I'm going to add a sign to this that says, you know, come here to be the hunter, essentially. One thing I really like doing with these palm trees is focusing on the shadows that they create. You can make some really nice looking environments just from kind of the cool stretched shadows that the shape of the palm tree leaves can make. Like that looks really nice. so I guess I could I could almost make a sign that's like strung between two trees. That might look quite cool. I wonder if I could utilize this in some way. Problem is it's curved, isn't it? That's going to be a bit difficult to explain why that's doing that. Okay, let's leave that. Okay, maybe I'll just do a floating UI for now. Just to, again, I'll spend too long finessing the thing I don't need to finesse. So let's check a locator down. Let's call this the Selector Ui and add a new UI widget. Oh, and I'll do it as, yeah, word, like a camera facing one. So wherever I look, it's going to move around with me. Probably high quality. I don't need it to be too crazy. Okay, and we're going to use asset properties, so we don't need to do any scripting, any kind of Lua scripting, which is always nice. Let's move this to the right. Close this. Let's close this. Okay, cool. So how are we going to do this? Probably just a basic sign for now. Everyone knows my UI skills aren't the finest. I'm going to change instead of text size. I'm going to say text message. Type text. And then I'm going to hook that in to the H1 message. So instead of that coming from a data, that's going to come from my properties text message. Okay, and that's good because I haven't specified one yet. So if I go open the word tree again and type be the hunter. No, not be the hunter. I guess I could be quite explicit. Stand here to stand here for a chance to be. Let's do all caps. Stand here for a chance to be hunter. Okay, I want to make that much smaller text. Okay, cool. That's good. Probably pick a different font, make it more piratey at some point. Let's just do a simple border on this. And let's text line center, so that's all centered. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll take that. That works quite nicely. So yeah, one of the kind of really understated features that obviously overshadowed by NPCs and stuff that we just released was that ability to do asset properties down in the thing, and it saves so much time in terms of having to set up code, just pass a single thing. So I've managed to make this UI really quickly, really nice and easy, and that should do the right job. I guess I could go as far as saying to hide it during the round, but we'll leave it for now. Okay, let's get my other player back in. He's just timed out. Oh, invisible walls. And invisible walls, another nice feature of scaling. So you can get something like the billboard, which is always a pretty good one for its size, as like an invisible blocker. But instead of having to make loads of them, you can just stretch it out. So collision enabled, but invisible. And can't be mantled, not that you should be able to. There we go. This wood tree is going to be an absolute state, but I'd like to get something going sooner rather than later. So, okay, little lobby beach done. You shouldn't be able to escape from. I got my other player back, so let's have a look, see how that behaves. Okay, that looks pretty good. We are making some pretty good progress. I'm going to be the hunter this time. Does it automatically lock on to NPCs? No. Okay. I need to turn the aim assist stuff off because I just realised I can aim at an NPC and it doesn't do anything. If I aim at a player, it's always like pulling my aim down, so that's a dead giveaway that that's a player. So let's fix that. That's probably a gun thing, a gun template. Iron sight, recoil, aim assist. Out of interest, why does that? I guess is it looking for players specifically? Okay, yeah, so it's looking specifically for players. So a little tweak to this bit around here to say looking for kind of NPCs as well would get you that aim assist, but I'm just going to remove that. We don't need it, to be honest. Let's double check. Oh, didn't quite make it in time. I'm going to make the lobby a bit longer. Where am I? Okay, cool. Yes, that stopped that from happening. That's good. I can't just tell that's me. Just the aim assist. What else might I want to do? The cannon stuff. That's the next big thing. I guess I could do another instructions board type thing here. Would be useful. And then what I think I want to make sure I do is some kind of help screens, some explanation screens, some challenges and activities, and all that usual sort of metadata stuff. Let's make the lobby a bit longer. Okay, cool. Oh, I also need to work out what to do. So if the time expires, who wins? Nobody. I wonder if there's I should probably remove the playtime and it's just first person to find all the cannons or the hunter to kill everybody. That could be an approach. So we're not actually, there's no time limit to the round. Let's see where I got up to with the times, with the cannon stuff. So cannon logic. All cannons found, game script, end play. Okay, and I think that was breaking because end play. Ooh, I hope you're all keeping up. I know I'm flying through this really quick. So I guess game script end play needs a time. So what I'd probably need to do is actually just call a new function. I don't know, why does that fail? Because what? Oh, it does pass. Okay, it passes an entity. Why does it pass an entity? It doesn't need to. Let's try that without without doing that. So let's see if we make that player the hunter. Okay, and if I go find all the cannons. Okay, so end of the game, but I need to work out now instead of saying it's okay, because that was a draw because no one got any kills, but it's not a kill focused game. So what it needs to be really is that this player gets like a ton of score. Do this for now. 1,000, I think that's right. Score script. Add score, add 1,000 points for this player. And the results are going to be slightly different because it's sort of it's like everybody individually versus the hunter and each other, because I want to be the first player to get the cannon. But it needs to say that on the final screen as to who actually. Okay, so I guess there's a way I could sort of hack around this a little bit. So the result script has the leaderboard. So I'm going to give someone like 1,000 points. So the only player that's going to get 1,000 points. So I could say, if player has 1,000 points, then make them the person it shouts out about. Could just add a shout for now to everybody. And say, I'm going to try and like pursue something that works before something that's perfect. self.properties winner message. And we can format that with winner equals get entity, get user, get username. So we're going to pass the username to the message, and the message will be type text. So basically what we'll say here is in the canon logic, the winner is winner found all cannons. And gets 1,000 points. So that should hopefully at least get me the winner and some message around who the winner is. We'll probably hide the... Thinking if we hide the score from the result screen, that's a quick way to just sort of disguise the 1,000 points thing. And it will show which team won, but also who. Did do a shout, but I still had a shout on the screen, so maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe I'm not going to get too caught up in this at the minute. I guess worst case scenario. Let's copy this. I mean, at the minute, what happens is a player finds all the cannons and that team wins. Because you are finding the cannons individually because it tracks which ones you've found. But let's not worry too much about that for now. What I do want to do is make it so it's quite a small island for finding quite large cannons. I'm wondering if cannons is the way to go. I might pause on this. I kind of want to get the game out without needing this. So actually, these are templates, aren't they? So I might just remove these 3 cannons and sort of pivot the game to be more about time limit survival. I just think that's going to make a lot of things easier, and we can kind of get a lot more testing of the actual game itself. So 3 minutes to survive with a hunter looking for players, and everything else should just work then. I guess what I need to do is have some logic around when the time expires, if the hunter's still alive, give one team a load of points. If the hunter's alive, then yeah. Need to think about this. If the hunter's killed everybody, then I believe we get to here as well. So it's if the hunter is alive and, or if there's a hider alive is a way to think of this, isn't it? If one of the hiders is alive, then we must have hit at end of time. Otherwise, if there's no hiders alive, then the hunter's going to automatically come out as the winner anyway. get users and do our normal loop. So for user in but if this person is a hider, then get their player, which may or may not exist at this point. So if player and player is alive, then set that we found a hider and break, because we only need to find one. So once we found one of them, we'll break out this loop. And if hider found, then we want to kill the hunter. So we sort of do this another loop. Hey, Daigari. If we did find a hider at this point, we're going to kill the hunter and give everybody else a load of points. Oh no, actually I can add this team, can't I, from here? I can say add team score, that's right. So team number 1 gets like 5 points. This all feels really ropey, but you know, I'm just trying to like figure out I'm getting the right logic in the right place. Okay, so the hunter stands over in the hunter bit. Okay, so let's just test this bit. Still works fine. Okay, so I found the player. Of them, hunter wins because they got the kill. Okay, that's fine because that held up with the logic basically that all the players had died, so the hunter, the round ended, and because the hunter had scored a point by getting a kill. That I guess where I've added that arbitrary 5 doesn't really mean much because the hunter might have killed 6 players, 7 survived. So let's make that 100 because you can never get the hunter could never score 100 points in a round. So that sorts that. Let's make the round shorter. Let's say lobby of 10 seconds and a round of 10 seconds as well. That should hopefully test basically what happens if the players do survive. So hunters in the box. Some of them are stuck in a tree. That's pretty funny. Okay, so I'm being a player. I'm hiding. I'm doing random NPC things. Hey, okay, and the players win because the players got 100 points. Or the hiders, that would be. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that logic is working nicely. Might want to just tidy that up quickly. Going to remove that. So basically it just doesn't show the number that we get. That results. Okay, I was still showing because that's the time version it's showing. But okay, that should be fine. For the future, if the players are too overpowered outrunning the hunter, you can maybe make the NPCs knock down the player if they run into them, or make a sound to increase risk. That's a good point. So it's almost like the players need to avoid NPCs. I think this is the sort of game that's going to take a lot of balancing around. Yeah, like kind of the players being powerful. That's one thing which I might do actually. So I've got a little bit of time, and it's quite an easy package to configure. Is I think having the stamina package on the players will make a big difference. So let's do that. Let's do that now. So I think that'll be a pretty good balance. I was going to return these back to what they were before I forget. I'm going to call the other team the hiders because I feel like that makes more sense. So yeah, let's have a look at the Stamina Plus package. If you haven't used this Stamina Plus package, it's really useful, like pretty cool package that is fairly drag and drop from what I remember. They have the Stamina Plus and Stamina Plus UI, which I think you add to your player. So this is a good way to make it only on the hiders. So Stamina Plus, and then I think you add that child. So I'm going to make it so rolling and jumping and sprinting all cost stamina. And the idea being then is you can't just run away from the hunt dead easy. Regen delay of 5 seconds, make that a bit higher. And make it slow the player, yeah. I mean, this is a really cool package for adding stuff in. Let's see how well that works. Okay, so you got that stamina bar in the bottom corner. You can see that decreasing. I want to make it decrease quicker if you sprint. Crouch. I can't jump anymore. I can't sprint anymore. So if I was being hunted by the hunter at this point, I'm sort of stuck. Right, I've got 5 seconds where I can't evade them quite very easily. So I think that should hopefully help with the combat side of it. I think Gmod Prop Hunt does something similar. Yeah, Gmod Prop Hunt. Sorry, Gmod Guess Who does some pretty interesting things with like kind of power ups and knocking into other players. And as I say, I think there's a benefit that hiders get if they're kind of risky enough to bump into the hunter. If they find the hunter and bump into them, then they'll get a power up. So yeah, I think that's something I'd like to do at some point. Let's tweak a little bit more here. So I think I want to make printing a bit more expensive. Let's say 20 every second. I think that's what that's reading as. So you get 5 seconds of sprint essentially. I'm not bothered about the FOV actually. In fact, no, I quite like the FOV. Let's leave that. That obviously that's client side. That's just your screen gets that effect. And rolling and jumping. It's both 30. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's hopefully going to do some of the balancing work. It's a really cool package. It did win gold in Spark last month. So yeah, do check that out if you want to use it in your game. There's a really ton of cool options you can do through the properties for positioning the UI and changing the colors and stuff. I'm going to leave it as the default for now. But yeah, really cool package to include. I want to add some instructions to the lobby because I feel like that's going to be quite key. So I'm going to take this idea. Okay, and because even though I've called it the Hunter Selector UI, it is actually different because I can basically take this. Let's make this world space now. Because I've got the property, I can just change the text and it will change this sign without changing that one. So before, if you'd copied an in-world UI and you're using a script, it got a little bit, if you were kind of hard coding stuff, it got a little bit difficult to play with. Whereas this, at least, I can treat it differently now, which is cool. Hot to play. Play. Can I do? Can't do a line break in here. Hunter, find the hiders amongst the NPCs. Be careful as shooting NPCs will injure you. Oops. Five until time expires, and do your best to blend in with the NPCs. Your stamina. Okay, cool. So yeah, really nice and quick and easy to get a couple of instruction screens in. So that can hopefully help people at least start to gauge, how the mechanics of the game work while they're sort of in this little lobby. That going right. Let's have a little think about some challenges, and what we'll do then is get this game published. So if you are wanting to have a little play with this, which would be great if people could jump in, or hopefully in the next 10 minutes or so have that done. So yeah, get yourselves ready. What challenges have we got? Win a round, win play 5, kill 2 in a single round. Yeah, I guess that's a good hunter one. Kill 3, kill 2 with no deaths. I mean, I guess I can leave all the default ones in. What might be some interesting? So the cannon stuff, actually. The cannons could be an interesting daily challenge. It's like fire the cannons to get the daily challenge. Well, that might be a way I can bring those back into the gameplay, actually. But yeah, activities. So I'm going to add a challenge. What could I add? Be some interesting stuff here because it's quite, an interesting gameplay. I guess we can't catch because I think like forcing, catching when a player emotes would be a pretty good one. It's like, risk emoting. I wonder if I could do like a go for a whole round without, like win a round without sprinting. Could be a pretty difficult challenge. Win a round without jumping, win a round without rolling, like those sorts of things could work quite well. Might leave that for now. I might leave it. I might focus more on this stuff. So loading screen pages. Let's do the pages. I think they're always something that's really worth making sure they're properly filled out, and then I think we'll go from there. So guess who is the name of the first title. Let's explain the rules in here. So how do I start this? So guess who, and then I guess I want to say attempt to blend in with NPCs in this party game. I think I call it a fun party game. Attempt to blend in with NPCs in this fun party game as the hiders or hunt down other players as the hunter. Pretty simple. Let's add a new page. This will be for the hunter. Hunt down the hiders, but be careful not to shoot too many NPCs. Find and eliminate them all before the time expires. And then the hiders. Blend in and survive until time expires. Watch your stamina bar and watch your stamina bar so you can no, I'm going to word this. Watch your stamina so you don't get caught out. Okay, cool. I think that will do. I guess I can preview that. Help. And the blending with NPCs in this fun party game as the hiders or hunt down other players as the hunter. Hunt down the hiders, but be careful not to shoot too many NPCs. Find and eliminate them all before the time expires. Blend in and survive until the time expires. Watch your stamina so you don't get caught out. Nice. Okay, cool. I think that's pretty good. Right. Dare I say I'm going to feature this? I'm going to publish this now. Do all the checks. So 10-second lobby. I'll make that a bit longer. 15-second lobby. 2 players minimum. 3-minute game time. That's working. I'm not sure how the spectate stuff's going to work, but that's always tricky. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go for it. So if people are around and ready, that'd be great if you could jump in. I'll work out a better image at some point. Guess who? The hunter. Let's find all the blending in with a bunch of wacky NPCs. Made on stream. Cool. Okay. I think that image will do. I'll leave the tags for now. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this has turned out. I think it should hopefully hold up as a pretty fun little party mechanic. There's obviously a ton of polish that can be done around certain areas of it, not the UI and stuff, but cool. So if you are in Crayta and want to join in, that would be awesome. That's going to sit there now on the recently stated leave the player out. So yeah, if you are in, I'll get a share code available in a moment. I'm really curious to know, like, I want to do visible.false in the lobby so people can hide their outfits. Ah, that's a good point. That's a good first bit of feedback. So yeah, because obviously there's only set. I think that's why it'd be good to maybe if I could create more NPCs than I need, and then only sub in the ones that are actually there. So let's create a share link. Get that into chat, so that's there for you now. We've got 200. Oh, okay. Yeah, getting 100 points for every. Oh, I can still see the score as well. I thought I'd change that. Never mind. Okay, quick outfit change. In fact, I'm going to be the hunter. I want to see how well this hunter side of it works out. I actually can't remember what outfits you guys have. This is a lot harder than I thought it might be. You just got to watch for long enough, I guess, because there's going to be some light actions. Give you away. Nope. I could have sworn one of the people was a thing. Okay. Okay, cool. I thought so. The reason that I gave you away, Unef, is the way you turned around was very like it wasn't quite as like sudden as the NPCs turn around. That's only because I had my eye on you a little bit. What was Dry Coast wearing? There's a good chance it probably changed at this point. That was quite a long pause before that. Quite a long pause. I figured that was somebody on their remote menu. Now that's a bold strategy. Whoever that was. Okay. Okay, this is tough as the hunter. That is a tough that's a tough ask. Okay, but no, I think the gameplay loops there. That's pretty good fun. I'm gonna quickly throw a new outfit on. But yeah, you're right. I think hiding everybody else in the lobby is a pretty good shout. NPCs are just doing the weirdest stuff. Oh, I was going for the, like, I didn't realise you were still there, so. Okay, but spectating seems to work okay. At least the first round of it spectating, because I'm following somebody here. Right, he's just killed. Okay. Nice. Okay, yeah. I think this is good. I mean, let me know what you guys think who are playing along. Let me know what you think in chat. Any kind of initial feedback and stuff. But yeah, it seems to be. I think I said the loop's definitely there. Back. Cool, viewers. Yeah, that's fine. I think we'll play this for a little while just to kind of get as much feedback as we can. I'd be curious to know if we get any hunter wins. I feel like there might be some, like, maybe every time the hunter gets a kill, they need to get a what's it, like a power up, perhaps something they can do. Help. One power up as a south sinking, like it'd be interesting for the hunter to be able to like make all the NPCs stop at the same time. And then, like, obviously, any player still moving, kind of like musical, like statues. What is it? Musical statues of the game. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Did I actually get away with that? I think I did. Okay, yeah. Feels like it's going to be pretty tough on the old hunter to get a win here. No, hunters are hard. I'm gonna put myself forward for being a hunter. NPCs only move in straight lines. Yeah, they sort of move between points. So you've got to like just try and spot any players any kind of NPCs that are moving at strange angles. Oh yeah, and you also can't step off the beach. That was far too quick to go between points. I'm watching you. Okay, now that was far too quick to emote. I think a player could have done that emote that fast. Ah, yeah. Cool. Don't know what it was, Splogster. Something just didn't quite feel right. Come on then, clown. Do something. Okay, okay, yeah, that's very, very weird NPC. Collision, yeah, everyone collides with everybody else. Like, they're all kind of bumping and sliding off each other. Minute left. Where are you guys? Damn. I didn't think they would crouch while walking. But yeah, no, I guess they do. Where are you? Oh, hello. Hello. You're moving rather erratically. What? How was that an NPC? Okay. Okay. That felt like a really strange line for an NPC to be taking. Yeah, let someone else be the hunter. I like this sort of choose to be a hunter. That seems to have worked out really nicely. I think maybe turn off the health bar for hunters so we can't hide behind rocks. Oh, that's a good point. They can't see where the hunter is. Okay. Yeah, because I guess you could just hide rather than having to blend in. I guess doing an emote's pretty good because it buys you a chance to get a free cam look around and you can line yourself up to take a different angle. Okay. Well, it's looking like it's pretty difficult for the hunter. We'll play one more round and I'll probably wrap the stream up there. But yeah, I've got some good notes. I think there's definitely something in this being a pretty fun game. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to keep going with this one. This is probably, I know I say this a lot on streams and I get close to finishing games, but I think this one is, yeah, pretty good. Hunter is hard. Yeah, it is. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought that the NPCs would be maybe the NPCs are too erratic. There's a lot of balancing I can do to change the NPC's behavior to make it a little bit harder to blend in. But I thought it'd be really difficult to sort of blend in with how they work. So I think what I'll probably look to do next is give the hunter some more like power up stuff. Yeah, I'll cock you. But yeah, like, I think the ability to mess with the NPCs in a way that the players have to react to is going to be the way to balance it. Maybe one shot kill. I feel like then, I don't know. I guess Vilva should have noticed that they didn't take any damage when they shot me. Let's watch how this player behaves. So the original reason for doing the cannons was to force you to have to move around the map. Might be something to re-implement. Another power-up idea I've just had is you could maybe have a power-up that like kills half of the NPCs, or like kills like 10% of them. So like, you know, at the start it kills a lot, and then you can sort of start to eliminate NPCs from the field to basically have less blending in options. Twenty seconds. Cool. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'll probably look to end that there anyway. But I think, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I think it's working out pretty well. It's a pretty fun little game. So thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been quite a successful stream actually. There's not been too much debugging. I've kind of hopefully managed to get some pretty good notes out of that, and have managed to make some pretty good progress on that game. So I think I'll definitely look to improve and do more on that. So I should be around next week. I think we should be good for a Tuesday stream next week. So what I'll probably do is I'll come back and add some more of the power up and the balancing stuff, and try and get some more notes on that. So I might do a little bit in the meantime, because it'd be interesting to keep this game published and get some more interesting notes from it. So thank you again, as I say, everybody, for tuning in. It's always good fun to just hang out and do some dev stuff in Crayta. If you haven't already, make sure you head over to Discord. It's discord.gg/Crayta. If you're watching this archive after the live event, then do make sure you drop us a comment of anything you want to know about Crayta, any questions, anything you specifically about the game, or just any feedback for the game, any thoughts about balancing and stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't again already, make sure you do head over and join our Instagram and our Twitter. That's at Crayta Game on both those platforms. Another good way to keep up with everything that's going on. AJ is going to be back tomorrow with a play along, so I might get this game in a little kind of playable state to see what AJ thinks tomorrow. So maybe we'll play it a bit more with a few more people tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Glad to see you guys like it. Very funny. It's fun. Follow the leader NPC strategy for me. So yeah, lots we can do with this balancing. Lots of fun mechanics we can look to incorporate over time. So that's pretty cool. If you haven't already seen, we have opened our Ignition applications for what it will be for May. So do make sure, if you haven't already sort of kind of been through the Ignition program, then do make sure you check it out. It's a pretty cool way to make some money while making games in Crayta. So find out more about that on Discord. It's discord.gg/Crayta. AJ's back tomorrow, so do make sure you tune in at a slightly earlier time of 7 p.m. BST, and I will see you all same time next week.